So you want to be seen, but you have all of this insecurity, uncomfortability, negative emotions arising when you think about putting yourself out there. Now, there are so many reasons why people can fear being seen, and really each person has different subconscious beliefs and blocks around this topic. But I want to give you four reasons that, just out of the hundreds and hundreds of people that I've worked with, what is typically happening in the background. The first thing is you don't really see yourself. You haven't fully seen yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? When you know that you are a good person with pure intention, and there's something about you that is worthy of other people experiencing, you have no problem being seen. Your personality, your characteristics, your attributes, maybe you're a really good friend or a really good listener, whatever these things are, you haven't really identified your own value. So you don't fully see yourself. It's very difficult to allow someone to see you when you don't think there's anything worth seeing. So I want you to do something really practical here. Make a list of as many positive traits and characteristics that you can fathom and imagine about yourself, like things that you know to be true about yourself. If it's I'm really funny, if it's I make the best whatever food it is, like anything that gives you worth, anything that speaks to your value, as many things as you can possibly think of. What starts to happen as you're writing this list is you start to realize how good of a person you actually are. Now, most of us in our childhood, what happened was we heard more negative things about us, whether it was our parents pointing out more flaws. And this could have even been done from an innocent place of, hey, you never clean your room up, or you never do this, or your grades could be better. But that pattern, that repetition of consistently hearing something wrong or bad about us, it just created a subconscious belief that we are a bad person. So this is how you're going to start to reprogram yourself to see yourself as truly being a good person. And so the second thing I want to talk about is you fear rejection. This also can stem from your childhood. If you faced rejection or scrutiny or just instances of not being accepted. And so you're living that out in your mind, you're playing that out. Now, what happens is we can be projecting into the future that we're going to be rejected so that this is going to happen when really it doesn't have to. You don't have to attract the same people or versions of reality that you experienced in the past. And this is how the ego works. The ego operates on information that it's accumulated from your past experiences. It doesn't have the ability to connect into the new storyline, right? Into the quantum version of you that can attract new people who accept you, new people who validate you, new people who celebrate you, new people and experiences that mirror back to you that you are a good person, that you have value and worth and something magnificent and extraordinary to share with the world. Now, as I'm saying that, Source wants me to expand you into the higher perspective. This is how Source sees you. Source really deeply values, I like to call this your unique flavor of frequency. It's your personality, it's the way you do things, it's your unique quirks and everything that makes you you. And because you are you, meaning you're here within experience, you're a fractal of Source. Source has chosen to be you. Source has chosen to experience reality through your unique personality. That alone is evidence of your magnificence. And this is how Source sees you. Source goes, wow, there's a very specific piece of me that I get to experience in that way. So your individuality is one of the highest gifts in creation and existence that any of us can experience. Okay. So that's how Source feels about you. And when you know that, you don't have to fear rejection from other people because you've already accepted yourself in understanding that Source accepts you unconditionally. Now, I want to share something a little bit more raw about rejection as well. Think about anybody who's doing anything with their lives. Anybody who's really seen, they are rejected in some way, shape, or form. People are going to have their own opinions. I mean, people make rude comments to me here on YouTube and other places all the time. So, what actually happens is this: the more visible you become, yes, it comes with love and adoration and positive attention, but it also comes with the polarity of that. When you accept that and you don't try to protect yourself against that, you just accept it. You free yourself from being a slave to trying to avoid that from happening. It's just going to happen. And so the more you just accept, okay, the more influence I have via being seen, also the more negativity I might experience. Now, think about this. The more people that see you, meaning you're not in your little isolated bubble within reality. So this is just natural. The more people that see you, that means the more people who are on other vibrations that are exposed to you, you get more of a different response. And that's okay. The example that I'm getting right now is someone like Jesus, Yeshua. We're talking about this guy 2,000 years later. People are still interested in him. People are still talking about him. Okay, when he was here, do you think he was accepted? No. But think about the lasting impact and ripple effect of your legacy. Now, this leads me to my third thing with the fear of being seen. Your insecurities are overpowering a mission and a purpose. When I was accepting that this was going to be a part of my journey, and Source really forced me out of the spiritual closet in terms of, hey, girl, you can't just keep all of this wisdom and connection to yourself. You're here to share it. And I had to really get comfortable with the idea of that. What happened was, my spiritual team, really my angelic team, they encouraged me to ask myself, what is the ripple effect of me saying yes? How many lives can change? How many people can be set free from just distortion and low vibrational thinking? And when I started to sit in the energy of that magic, of that expansion, of that beauty, of that love, it's really love. When I started to sit in that, that became so much more important than my insecurities. Now, everyone has insecurities. And I was watching this interview with Rick Rubin and Matthew McConaughey. I think I just butchered his last name, but that guy. Um, I was watching an interview with him and Rick Rubin the other day, and he was talking about how for years, the first few years in his acting career, how uncomfortable it was for him to see himself on a screen. He didn't watch his own movies. He didn't, watch these things back. And when you think about someone who, it's literally their job to act. It's literally their job to be seen and be on a screen. And that someone like that could still be uncomfortable. So understand that this is not unique to you. There are geniuses and masters of people who are masters of their craft who struggle with this. But what happens is there's something more important. There's something more valuable. And maybe right now, this is an ego check and a wake up call for you where you go, okay, if this purpose, this intention, this goal, this outcome that I'm looking for, this impact that I would like to have, if it were truly important to me and took priority, would I allow my insecurities to hold me back? Maybe you don't like the way you sound on video. That was me when I first started sharing content in 2021. I was like, this is so cringe, but I got used to it. If you don't like seeing yourself on video because there are certain flaws or things you think you need to fix about yourself, right? This is just the reality of being human. We can feel this way. Maybe you don't like the way you speak, or you don't feel like your grammar is on point, or you don't feel like you are as articulate as you can be. How about this? Work on yourself. Work on yourself in the process of also allowing yourself to be seen. I want to leave you with this. and on this particular point. Allowing yourself to be seen is the highest expression of self love. Because what's happening is because you love yourself unconditionally, and because you love yourself unconditionally, you're saying, hey, see me as I am. Maybe you won't accept me. Maybe you will identify these flaws within me, but I have already accepted myself. That is a very powerful frequency. It's also a very magnetic frequency. Now, this fourth thing I want to leave you with is when you have a fear of being seen, you are uncomfortable with holding power. So we spoke about rejection, but sometimes what could be actually happening with people is they know that they're powerful. And for many of you who are watching this, I know you're star seeds and light workers, and you've always been different. You've always known there's something different about you. There's something different about how you think and how you operate and how you view the world. And it feels comfortable to be the light in a dark room. It feels uncomfortable to hold that spotlight because your energy is so different that you already know it's going to stand out. It's going to attract a lot of attention. It has the power to really shift something or transform something. When we're afraid of holding power or we feel uncomfortable holding power, we actually feel uncomfortable with love, receiving love. Because if I value myself, if I see myself, if I know that I have the ability to really transform people or lives or whatever it is that you're wanting to do through allowing yourself to be seen, and you know that it will be met with positive receptivity, then that's not a bad thing. So if you're relating to it in a negative way, you have to work on feeling comfortable receiving love. Let's play this game of what if. What if I create content and I share it and it goes viral and I get tons of positive feedback? I want you to play and sit in the energy of that. Allow it to calibrate your nervous system. Get more comfortable with that. What if I launch this business and tons of people want my product or service? What if I show this particular skill set, craft, or gift that I have, and people mirror back to me that they really need it and it really helps them? Because if you're sitting in the energy of the what if in terms of rejection, and that's in your system, okay, we need to flush that out. Well, what if this is powerful and miraculous and magical and it really helps people? Okay, now let me sit in the energy of that power, that influence. So we're going to do something. When you think about being seen, I want you to write down 5 people that when you think about being seen, it bothers you that they would see you in your power. Typically, these are folks that have rejected you in the past. Now, you might even be thinking about someone that you haven't seen in years. You may be thinking about a childhood bully. You may be thinking about a parent. Okay. So I'm going to invite your higher self in to help you get clear on these 5 people because there's an energetic cord that we need to dissolve here. And we need to release this person from your energy. Okay. Higher self dropping in the names of these people in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This may come as a surprise, right? For some of you, I'm hearing it's a former partner or relationship, an ex-best friend. So you write these folks down. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to call in the higher selves of these people to send you love. Because these people that rejected you, that you are afraid of seeing you and rejecting you again, they're stopping you from allowing yourself to share who you are as this empowered version. And so remember, the lower self, the human self, the ego self was rejecting you, but their actual higher self has only ever seen the light within you. the power within you and understands what your mission, your higher mission is about. Okay. So closing our eyes again, inviting these higher selves in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. See yourself standing in the middle, and they are surrounding you, and they are beaming this golden love energy into your heart, freeing you from the lower aspects of them that are still in your energetic body and your energetic field. Ah, this feels beautiful, right? And now the higher selves begin to share with you the truth of what they see of you or within you from this highest vantage point, this pure place within consciousness. And maybe you can write these things down, and this is helping you to reconcile some of these past experiences. Being seen is about knowing that you are worth being seen and that you are a unique fractal of source, a unique flavor of frequency that the universe is experiencing and expressing through you. And your gift to the rest of creation is that you allow that to be witnessed.